Hey everyone, this is Laura Robinson from the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. This is July 7th, I believe, and it is the monthly Garden Network video. So I wanted to start out in the greenhouse and show you guys the seeds that I am planning to start for fall. I'll probably be starting most of these over the next week or two. I usually try to plan on the beginning of September for planting anything that's going to go in the fall. Like obviously some things like root vegetables like beets and carrots and radishes, those will all be directly sown, but a lot of the other things I do try to start in the greenhouse. And a lot of these things I have found over the last few years that are just really cold hardy, so that we're kind of getting fall crops, but also things that will go through the winter. So I have kohlrabi, I have cabbage. The one that I think did really well for me a couple years ago was the Savoy cabbage. So I'll start some of that again. Multiple types of lettuce, multiple types of collards, multiple types of kale. I really like the dino kale and the red Russian kale over the winter. Multiple types of Swiss chard, a couple types of broccoli. This purple broccoli performed really well for me a couple winters ago. Leeks, which are one of the few things that actually survived that hard freeze that we had last December. Spinach usually does really well over the winter. Mosh, or it's also called corn salad. This is something else. It looks really delicate, but it also survived that really hard freeze that we had. And then I'll do multiple types of lettuce and multiple types of Asian greens. This winter choy is supposed to do really well over the winter, although it did mostly get killed out when we had that hard freeze. So I'm hoping that we don't have a repeat of that, and we can get maybe some more out of the garden when it comes to the Asian greens. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you in here. I'll show you guys around outside a few things. Our peppers seem to be finally coming on strong, which is nice. I planted multiple types. Banana peppers, jalapenos, Anaheim peppers, and they all seem to be doing really well. Husk cherries are growing like crazy. I only have 3 plants in this bed. They're growing like crazy, but as you can see, I think my squirrel friend really enjoys them as well. So I guess maybe next year I would put a cover over them before they get this big. I have bush beans going in the front, which are performing well. I think I did the Blue Lake bush beans. And those are doing well. I have lots of basil. I'm just restarting some more pole beans here, which have germinated kind of in an odd way, so I might put some more stuff in here. I do have one bed of pole beans down here, which I've gotten a ton off of, but it's kind of, they're kind of dwindling a little bit. So I might pull out the pole beans and put something else there. Here I started a type of melon. It's called Petite Grise. And it's supposed to stay relatively small, so that's just kind of an experiment. I have tomatillos back here, which are just starting to come in. I have shishito peppers here, which 2 years ago were a really good performer for me. So I'm hoping I get a repeat of that this summer. I have a bed of cowpeas, which usually do great here. I do get aphids usually on the cowpeas, so we'll see what happens there. I did an experiment. I did 3 different types of squash in this bed. And as you can see, it's kind of going crazy. So we'll see what comes of that. I started, I think, 2 or 3 different types of squash in this bed. And as you can see, it's kind of going crazy. So we'll see what comes of that. I started, I think, 2 or 3 different types of squash in this bed. And as you can see, it's kind of going crazy. So we'll see what comes of that. I A type of pumpkin here, it's more of like a bush style pumpkin called Cinnamon Girl. And I started this at home as well, and I already have like 2 sizable pumpkins at home. I don't think I have any here yet, but I'm excited about this variety and I'm hoping that it does well. I have 2 beds of tomatoes, which it just seems like it's taking forever for them to ripen, probably due to the weather, but I'm really hoping I get something out of these 2 beds that I have tomatoes in. I have a bed of eggplant, which I've noticed aphids on the eggplant, and it's not really doing too much. I've seen like maybe 1 flower in here. I did have it covered for a while because I know flea beetles tend to really affect eggplant. So I don't know if I left the cover on too long, but I'm hoping that this starts doing something now that it's really heating up, and maybe we can get some sunshine in the next few days. Oh, I want to show you guys these cucamelons. If you've never grown these before, they are crazy. The vines just go nuts. And I probably planted way too many here, but they're these little, they look like little baby melons, but they taste like cucumbers. You can eat them raw, you can pickle them. You harvest them when they're about the size of a grape, like that one. Wait, sorry. That one. But they are prolific. I would grow those again, just in probably a smaller quantity. I'm also growing for the first time bitter melon, which, as the name suggests, is very bitter, but it's been a really good producer. You do have to cook it. When I've had it in the past, I've put a lot of like kind of Asian flavors with it, just to like mask the flavor a bit. But it is a really good producer, and the plant doesn't seem affected, you know, like you just expect a cucumber plant to kind of have all sorts of problems. It's been a really good plant so far, and I just have it growing on this trellis here, so we'll see what happens. I have a couple beds of okra. This one was planted later than my other bed. Again, this one seems to have more aphids, and this was the Louisiana green velvet. And I have an heirloom variety over here. I think it's something with Texas, or not Texas, Tennessee red heirloom okra, I believe. And this variety seems less affected by the aphids, and it could just be a timing thing. So I'm hoping that this bed produces well, even if the other one not so much. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
I have 2 beds of sweet potatoes going, which are both doing well. I also have this bed of honey nut squash, which I don't know if I've showed you guys this in videos in the past, but there are tons of these in this bed, and I think I planted 8 plants. But they are just everywhere, and they are about half the size of a normal butternut squash. And I think they are maybe just starting to ripen. You have just a little bit here. So I'm really excited about this. I hope it's a really good producer. Oh, and the only other things I wanted to show you guys were some of the, kind of trying to do like a late summer start on a few things. I found this squash called Desi, D-E-S-I, squash, and it's supposed to only take 40 days to reach maturity. So I'm gonna try planting that and just see kind of if I get a late season squash harvest. I also have some sunflowers in here and a pepper that I'm trying for one of my volunteers. It's called ají dulce, like a sweet pepper, smaller size. So there's a couple of things that I'm trying, kind of a last push for summer produce. And I think that's probably about it. I hope you all are having a productive summer harvest, and I guess by the time I post the next video, we'll have started probably most of our fall things. So if just kind of keep that in mind. If you're looking for things to plant in the fall and need some plants, please let me know. And I would be I'm excited to hear kind of how things are going for you guys. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.